Hey guys, welcome back to the table. Today we're going to be continuing in our adventure of our D&D Banquet with our next dish, which is Salmon Ceviche. Keep in mind as we go on our adventure that all of these dishes are supposed to be served on the same table. Now, that's pretty impossible to do in a 15-minute video, but just imagine. Looking at what we have today, we have our salmon, we have salt and pepper, we have a cucumber, we have an onion, white wine vinegar, and 1.5 lemons. So we're going to get right on into cutting and chopping. First, we're going to deal with our onion because it's got to get started simmering. We are going to pickle it. So try to make these pretty thin. I actually don't mind cutting with the that paper feeling, the skin of the onion. I don't mind that. You can peel it off right after. Okay, so you can see we didn't use a whole onion. I even started out with just half. We're just going to throw that skin right into our handy dandy trash bowl. Alright, so now that our skin has been removed from our onion circles, I have a pot right here. It's not on, but I'm just going to go ahead and separate the rings of the onions into the pot. I'm going to open up my white wine vinegar, and I'm going to eyeball this. What I'm looking for is to just cover the onions. Give them a swish around, make sure all of them are covered. We're going to simmer these for 3 minutes. While that's going, I'm going to take my trash bowl and put it right in front of here so you can see it, and take my cucumber and take off the skin. I don't have a very pretty cucumber because it's homegrown, but that's okay. Nothing wrong with a homegrown cucumber. So now I'm just going to cut my cucumber in half and then in half again, like long ways. I've got a little spoon, and I'm going to bring my trash bowl back, and I'm just scooping out the seeds. So now that I've taken out all of the seeds, I'm just going to give this a quick slice. Okay, across all 4 pieces. You can cut off the little butts. I forgot to cut off the little butts. So these are just really, they're kind of thin, but not super thin. This is called a julienne. We're julienning our cucumbers, and then we're going to just dice them. Get little tiny squares. Okay. Boop. Little small squares. Okay. And take the next group of them and do the same thing. And then I'm going to find just a little bowl to put these in to hold. This is what our cucumbers look like. They're just little squares. And those can go off to the side. Next, I'm going to go ahead and cut our lemon that hasn't been cut yet. We're going to save a smaller portion. You see, I cut one side bigger than the other. We're going to set that smaller side off. We're going to set that smaller part off to the side. And then we're going to just slice these lemons. It's okay if they're not perfect. So what we have cut so far, the cucumbers and the lemons, are our garnishes. Our onions are simmering. I'm going to let those go just another minute. Haven't forgotten about them. So we're going to take our salmon, open up this pack. Alright, this has skin on it. That's fine. I am going to go ahead and take off the skin because we're not going to work with that today. So how I do this, I pick up some of the skin that I can get off of just like the side. And I'm going to run my knife, if I can get this working. I'm going to run my knife just as close to the skin as I can, doing back and forth motions. Okay. There we go. So the skin's off. I'm going to go ahead and turn off our onions, and those are already done. So what we've done with the onions is they've been pickled. That was just really super fast. We don't want them super pickly, but that's what we've done. We just pickled them. Okay, to the salmon. So I have a little plate right here, and we're going to cut this salmon very thin. I'm going to go ahead and pat off some of this excess water, just so we have a good surface to be cutting on. Okay, so I'm going to take our knife, and we're going to try and slice this super thin. Okay? The less you go back and forth with it, the less you're going to have a chance to mess up that cut. Alright. So this is what it'll look like. It's about a half an inch, maybe a centimeter thick. I'm just going to set it on that plate that we had. You kind of do want it a little bit thinner than that, but for a first cut, that's okay. There we go. That one's a little bit better. So I'm going to do this a couple of times just to get a good amount of salmon for this appetizer. I went ahead and used half of that fillet that I had and continued cutting it into pieces, and this is how much I ended up with. Okay, I have about 2 plates full. Now, all I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cook this with the acid from the lemon, okay? So since I have one smaller plate, I'm just going to use that smaller half a lemon I have on our smaller plate of salmon, and squeeze as much juice as you can out of that. Okay. And then for our other big half, I'm going to go ahead and give one more squeeze to this side, and then I'm going to squeeze the rest of it onto this plate. This color change is actually going to go pretty quickly. You can probably see it better like this. Okay. Give my hands a little pat. Okay, guys, so I'm going to rearrange some of this so it's a little bit closer together. Alright, and you're going to let this sit for just a second. Okay, guys, you can kind of see, I don't know if you can see this, but the salmon is starting to change colors. And that means the acid from the lemon is cooking it, in a way. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take some salt and put it into my hand. This is just regular table salt. And then I'm going to sprinkle the salt on top of it. This is just so we have a little bit better control about how much salt is actually going onto the salmon. Whoop. Okay. Very nice, very nice. I'm going to give a little turn because some of these are not cooking on that opposite side. When you do this, it should be that same day. You don't want to prepare this ahead of time. This is a pretty instant thing, pretty instant dish to prepare. Alright, on this plate you can kind of see where we have some salmon that's still really, like, it looks like salmon, and then on the outer edges it's white. And I'm going to take the salmon ceviche that we have and line it on this plate. So this is what it'll look like. Alright, and now we're going to add our topping. Our onions out of the pot and put them in the refrigerator just to cool off a little bit. Okay? I'm going to add just a couple more cucumbers on top of the onions so they look a little bit mixed in. Okay. There we go. Very nice, very nice. And now I'm going to sprinkle this just with a little bit of pepper. And I'm going to take the lemon that we have. Just kind of place it. Just kind of place it. Here, this one will work. Kind of a twist. A little lemon twist. Okay, just right across the top of that. And one more. There we go. Very nice. You see how our salmon has changed colors? It looks like it's cooked. And these are our garnishes. Final step, just take some olive oil and drizzle it across. Not a lot. You want to be really careful with it. And drizzle. Putting olive oil on it is typically used in a crudo. It's kind of the Italian version of a ceviche. Alright guys, so here is our ceviche. Alright guys, so this is typically not a finger food, but I might eat it with my fingers. So I get a little bit on my crudo here, on my ceviche. I just wrap that, well, it all fell out. I just wrap it on up into a nice little ball. Yeah, that sweet salmon mixed with these fresh cucumbers, mixed with those pickled onions. It is so good. It is like, that was a perfect little bite. Any adventurer would be glad to get this at a banquet. Well, guys, this has been another episode of The Table. This time we have brought you a D&D Banquet appetizer of salmon ceviche to your table that you can do really easily. It hardly took any time. You don't actually have to cook anything, except we are cooking the salmon in lemon acid or lemon juice, which is acidic. And guys, oh, this was so fun to make. I'm so glad that we have chosen this. Guys, I'm so glad that this is going to be a part of our D&D banquet. I am going to be taking pictures on my coming soon Instagram. So guys, again, thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video and want to see more like it, leave a like down below. If you tried this at home and it turned out how mine turned out or didn't turn out how mine turned out, leave a comment below. Guys, please subscribe if you like this and you want to see more of this, because I want to keep these dishes coming to your table. Alright guys, bye.